Hello and welcome to episode 2 of Misplated. Today we're going to meet with Roberto Costa. He's the founder of Macellaio RC. It's what they call the theater of meat. And I'm really curious to talk everything about sort of meat and Italian food and how the two combine. Especially because, you know, in the sort of imaginary culinary collective, Italian food and meat are not necessarily the very first thing that you will think about. And we're going to talk a little bit more about what it means to run a restaurant in London. We're like quite central. We're on Shaftesbury Avenue, near where all the musicals are, near Covent Garden, near Chinatown. You can see that's where I park actually. There's very nice parking over there. If you've got a moped and you're in London, check it out. It's free for motorcycles, very good. But anyway, here we are. We arrived at Macellaio. I can't wait to meet Roberto. Let's talk about his career. And oh, forgot. He's gonna make a steak tartare for us, which is also very interesting because that's not maybe necessarily the very first thing that you associate Italian food with. And I'm very curious to talk about it as well, because I think we all have a different idea of what Italian food is depending on sort of which region you have tasted. Like for me, steak tartare doesn't mean much because I'm from the south, but for him that comes from Liguria, so it's a little bit northern. That may have a different meaning, so I'm really curious to explore that. Let's walk in. Hello. Hi. So it's weird to speak Italian with another Italian, to speak English with another Italian person.
Yeah, it's quite weird
I know.
in London with another Italian to speak in English, but even funny, let me say.
Yeah, so you can compare accents and see who sounds most, you know,
but
Italian.
your sound is like pretty English, to tell you the truth.
I know.
I'm not that good, so my accent is like, hey, whoa, mamma mia. It's like quite Italian style, but you know, it's fine.
Everybody has a different taste, so
yeah,
okay.
That's the beauty.
Anyway, well, thank you so much for joining me on the series. What we're going to make today?
Oh, thank you very much for having me. And we are making a steak tartare, you know, like with the Fassona breed. So it's an Italian breed from Piedmont, in near Cuneo and Alba, kind of Langhe place. It's called Langhe because it's really famous for white truffle, Nebbiolo grapes, hazelnuts. So, and of course the meat, the beef that is.
Fassona is very lean. No, they used to make it salsiccia di Bra.
Bravissima, bravissima. Salsiccia di Bra is with the veal, the same breed but with the veal. It's like light, it's like really delicate and absolutely with no fat. So it's quite healthy, let me say.
Yeah, so it's very good to eat raw as well.
Absolutely, yes. Yeah, because it's not fatty, it's absolutely lean. And the balance in between the meat and the ingredients, it's amazing because the meat is like a kind of a note of sweet. You know, and you have to balance with different kind of ingredient because this kind of dish, it's all about balance. We've got many ingredients, but just to balance in between everything, the dish. You've got the freshness with the onion and the gherkins. You've got the saltiness with the capers and the anchovies. You've got the bitterness with the Worcester sauce. We've got the spicy with Tabasco. We've got even a little bit of alcohol with brandy.
Oh, okay.
And then you got again sweetness with salsa rubra and a little bit of mustard about the acidity. And then everything is mixed with the extra virgin oil. And in my opinion, this is, as Italian point of view, is the final touch to make the perfect steak tartare. You know, because it's like, it's a kind of very good ingredient in our biodiversity in Italy. So for example, this one is extra virgin oil, Taggiasca extra virgin oil. That means that we can make this kind of extra virgin oil only with Taggiasca tree and Taggiasca olives. And talking about biodiversity, the Taggiasca tree grow only in 50 kilometers all around the world. Only in these 50 kilometers in between Savona village and Imperia village. It's quite
So it's in the region that you're from. It's from Liguria.
Yeah.
But also Tajasca olives, they're also very good to eat like as olives.
Absolutely.
Which I think it's rare sometimes for like olive oil.
Absolutely.
For
and
olives to be able to do both.
You are absolutely right. And if you think about the fish, for example, with you know, in the oven or with salt, and you put some Tajasca olives, again the balance in between the bitterness and the saltiness of the fish is like great.
Nice. So, because you were saying this is like a special thing that I like to add, like to add olive oil to steak tartare, because usually steak tartare was born as a French dish, so there wasn't much olive oil in there.
Exactly. They prefer butter.
Even in steak tartare?
No. I'm joking. Not for the tartare. In general, if you think about the two things, Italy is for extra virgin oil. France is like about butter. Great butter, salty, unsalted, like amazing butter, but it's a different thing.
Yeah.
Like
trust me, I know. We got this problem at home.
But it's like it's not a competition, you know. I think that the beauty of food, it's the biodiversity. So in France, we can taste some really good things. If we talk about wines, for example, Burgundy is Pinot Noir there is like wow, Chardonnay there is like wow. Bordeaux, Champagne, in my opinion, is not even a wine, in something, in another level, you know, so we cannot compare. I'm Italian, I'm a maniac about Italian ingredients, but we cannot compare. It's a great mistake to compare our sparkling wine with the champagne.
Yeah.
We've got beautiful wine. If we talk about sparkling, I immediately think about Ferrari in Trento, again, for the biodiversity, because I really like the Chardonnay in high level, you know, like 600, 700 meters above the sea level.
Yeah,
so the acidity, the minerality, you can age the wine even more because the difference of the temperature in between night and day is good and make the grapes better, in my opinion, of course. But in my opinion, it's true.
Yeah.
And so Ferrari is a great producer. Giulio Ferrari is like something, but even the Ferrari millesimato is like wow, outstanding.
Okay.
But it's not champagne.
Yeah, for sure. But I think it's something you learn as well if you're always in the cuisine world, in the food world. You learn to appreciate ingredients because of like where they're made, the taste, separated from this is Italian, this is French. Actually, I think it's very dangerous to put the nationality in front of
I agree with you.
local.
You know, quality has not boundaries. If something is good, it's good. That's it. French, Italian, Spanish, Greek. Yeah. Why not? The octopus in Greece is like
the best.
For example. So we need to enjoy and embrace all the different culture, you know. For example, here we make a French dish, but with the Italian breed.
Yeah. So how does that make you feel? You know, like to say, like Italianize this French dish. You know, like how, like do you feel? I mean, we just said it doesn't matter, but like, you know, how does that make you feel while you make it? Like, do you feel you can? Do you feel like you're breaking some rules? Or?
No, it's a huge responsibility. I don't want to, you know, make a French dish in an Italian way. I make a French dish in a French way with the main ingredient that is from Italy. But doesn't change because, to tell you the truth, the Fassona breed and the breeds in French are quite similar because l'Aveyron, Charolais, Aubrac are like, Aubrac a little bit different, but l'Aveyron and Charolais are pretty similar to the Piedmontese, quite similar.
Yeah.
So it's not, there is no a big difference in between. And I want to say something, I want to say one thing that for me is really important, because I make the steak tartare with the top side, no fillet, no loin, not strip loin or whatever, top side.
What are the characteristics of the top side?
The top side is the leg.
Okay.
It's right here,
Yeah.
you know? And the fillet, most of the people, probably in France as well, they make the steak tartare with the fillet. And you know, it's like the fillet is the only muscle that when the cow is alive, it doesn't move. That's why it's so soft and tender, because it's a muscle, it's like that in your body there is a muscle without any move during your, you know, life. It's like soft and tender. But I think that as a butcher, because my grandfather was a butcher and I learned by him, when you kill an animal, you have to respect him and you have to use all the animal. Too easy and absolutely wrong, in my opinion, to use the noble part of the animal, like fillet, loin, or rump steak, and that's it. We need to know all the muscles and use all of them. And in my opinion, you can make a outstanding steak tartare with the top side, but even with some muscle of the interior part. So, you know, it's like, it's really important in my opinion to say that.
When you make steak tartare, you're looking for like a certain, you know, ratio to like lean meat and fat?
Lean. Have to be
everything lean, yeah.
Absolutely, have to be lean. The meat to make steak tartare have to be lean. And I learned that when I was a kid, 17 years old, when I started to do this job in 1990 in Genoa, because at that time the chef de rang, the maître, or they used to work a lot with the gueridon and with the table that we call lampada, you know, to flame, for example, the crepe, to make the Rossini fillet, stuff like that. So there was a beautiful vibes on the floor, and the floor was the perfect filter in between the kitchen and the table. So it was something to become a chef de rang, you needed to have some skills. That now is not that. There is, let me say, I don't see anymore a kind of training like that. And it's a shame.
Do you think it's because you had the training like on the floor, like you had, like people had to look at you preparing the tartare and you felt the tension, like that helped you as well to train?
Yeah, of course, because there was curiosity at the time, and I've chosen to become a waiter. Most of the time, right now even worse, but most of the time the young generation choose to do a waiter, to be a waiter, to wait for a better job. I don't know which is better, but to wait for a better job. So it's like something temporary. And when you do something temporary, you don't put yourself into it in a proper way, in my opinion, most of the time. But to be a waiter is a huge responsibility, because if you think about the hospitality industry all around the world, not just in Italy, France, Spain, Greece, in Europe, US, wherever, hospitality business, the turnover are like billions per year. And if you think about, you know, how to serve people, there is always a waiter. In hotel, restaurants, bar, resorts, wherever, catering, there is always a waiter. And the last 50 centimeters are done from a waiter. And in this arm, they got a huge responsibility, because you've got your country, the biodiversity, the tradition, the people, your family, the colleagues, the entrepreneur, and then you.
You're really the last,
You are the last one, you know? So we need to train them. That's why it was beautiful, to train them to become something different, like to have different skills, not just to bring the plates on the table, but even to make beautiful dishes.
Do you think that is always recognized though? Because I think also, because we have this conception of like temporary job for the summer, not much thought about it. I think when you say waiter, first thing I think of is low pay. So, you know, is that like,
I agree with you. Unfortunately, I agree with you. And I've been a waiter for many years. I'm still a waiter, but I've got different roles right now, you know. But I agree with you. It's like you think about to bring the plate just from the kitchen to the table. That's it. But it's not about the work or the job. It's about you, what you're thinking, how you do this kind of job to become better and better, to do a different step, a next level, to see beyond, you know. And that's, once again, I was a waiter at 17, and I cannot complain with my career, believe me. I have no money at all. My family wasn't in the hospitality industries, but I wanted to be a waiter because I remember at 17 years old, I went in a beautiful farm, winery, in Tuscany, in Ozzole, and I found like a place that was like amazing. And I thought, if I become waiter and I can enjoy this kind of environment, I want to be waiter and I want to be better and better. And since then, I think that the secret is to understand as soon as possible what you want to do, what you want to be, as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Because then you can, you know, modify yourself or modify the job, but you know, you've got. And right now, the vision for a lot of people is just to be on the phone, scroll like. But anyway, I'm old style, so I'm old and old style.
No, I think it's true. I think a lot of people are realizing that now, after spending a long time on our phones.
I hope so, because before maybe it was too much. Because before COVID was like working to be something rather than be someone to work. Okay, and probably it was too much. I grew up like this, you know, so working hard to become something different. Dreams without goals are just dreams. So you have to dream something, you have to put yourself somewhere to achieve, to be there. In the meantime, you have to work as much as possible to achieve these kind of things. You choose your work, but you know, even because
you be present, yeah.
You know, ambition is like something that push the world, you know, to roll. It's like so. But once again, I'm old. Anyway.
Okay, should we start?
Scusa, sì che prendo un guanto. Guys.
I said approach this as a podcast, and I think we're done. We're done exactly that. Yeah, this is the nature of this series, I guess. Lots of talking, some cooking, but it's more, just so much more than cooking. I hope you're getting that as well. Okay, let's get back to.
So, now we need to chop the top side, and this is the first difference, in my opinion, in between a nice steak tartare rather than an average one. Because too many people use the minced beef. That is not right, because you cook the beef during the process to mince them.
Do you?
Yeah,
Oh.
because it's too hot when the mince machine do the things. So you have to use the knife, once again, about, you know, as a butcher.
So it has to be chopped finely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think that's kind of maybe why I never really got to like steak tartare so much, because it looks like mincemeat, and then, you know,
exactly.
then when you have cooked with mincemeat, you're like, I don't really feel like I want to eat it raw.
It's not a burger.
Yeah,
It's a steak tartare. It's a different thing. And you have to feel the meat in your mouth.
And because it's lean, it's very easy to cut.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But then, when you put the meat in your mouth, you have to feel it. You need a little bite as well, even if it's chopped, you know? Don't have to be perfect. The beauty is even about that, you know? It's like irregular.
Yeah, it doesn't have to melt in your mouth.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or better, have to melt in your mouth after the second bite.
Okay, okay. That's why they say steak tartare is like really, if you like meat, you can appreciate it more. And so you were saying like you come from generations of butchers.
Yeah, exactly. My grandfather was a butcher.
How was it growing up around meat? Like, were you eating a lot of it? Or?
Oh, yeah, but we used to eat the cut or the muscle that we didn't sell in the butcher shop, of course, like the anterior part, the offals, stuff like that.
Okay.
There was no space for steaks or fillet or stuff like that. You know.
So you remember the first time you had a steak?
14, 15, something like that. Maybe older, a proper steak like the loin.
Wow.
A lot of stew, a lot of Milanese, a lot of scaloppina.
Yeah, so like really everything else but steak, but what you maybe eat in a restaurant.
Yeah, exactly.
How do you feel about, like, I think now things are changing and you see a lot of, like, there's some restaurants that serve like offal or oxtail.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
Like how, yeah, you can go. Right. How do you feel about sort of, you know, things changing just now? You know, for many years, cooking meat in a restaurant was just, as you were saying, only the good, leanest parts, the finest parts.
But I think that is much better now because it's tastier. When you feel an Hanger steak, for example, is something, wow, amazing. Because I remember when I was a kid, almost every kid are low in iron, you know, during the growth. And I remember that the doctor, the family's doctor in Italy, so pediatra, that is the NHS doctor, suggested to my mom to cook the Hanger steak and the blood of the Hanger steak during the cooking, put in a coffee cup and then let me drink.
Okay.
And I used to do this I used to drink this kind of stuff. So,
okay.
You know.
So coffee with blood?
No, just the coffee cup. Without coffee, no, otherwise could be too much. No. So we start with the onion, white onion.
Okay.
For the freshness. Like the gherkins. Anchovies from Ligurian Sea.
Nice.
That are saltier because the Ligurian Sea is the saltier sea in Italy, about the rocks.
This is right there in the little corner.
Then some capers, but not too many because we need to put then pepper.
I think one of the questions I had from, you know, my preparation was, like, obviously, yeah, you're sort of a butcher and you know Tabasco, yeah.
Tabasco, a little bit spicy, but not too much.
Yeah. So you grown up surrounded by meat, but I think a lot of people,
brandy.
You know, okay, brandy as well. Yeah. A lot of people outside of Italy don't really associate Italian food with meat. Or, I mean, they have the idea of like the local butcher, but maybe, you know, wouldn't necessarily, say, come to a restaurant like Macellaio to have Italian style steaks, steak tartare. So how...
And salsa rubra.
How do you live with that?
No, it's quite, you know, I've been the first Italians to bring Fassona breed in London 12 years ago. So it was quite unique. And to tell you the truth, I'm still the only one to use this kind of loin, this quantity of Fassona breed. I think that, you know, it's like when you think about a Chinese restaurant and we think just about spring rolls and Cantonese rice. You know, you've got in mind that kind of, if you think about Italian cuisine, you think about pasta and pizza. And some fishes you go in the seaside like Puglia, Sicilia, Calabria, but mostly carbs, you know? And it's a shame because our biodiversity, west, east, south, north, it's all about the diversity. It's all about, you know, if, for example, in Puglia, you've got probably the most beautiful biodiversity in Italy because you've got the Tavoliere, then you've got a little bit of mountain, but not too high. Then you've got two different seaside. Then you've got the seafood, a beautiful pasta, a great bread, you know, all in once. But in every product, you can feel the land, the soil, the wind. That is the most important thing. You know, if you think about pesto sauce, was made in Genoa the first time. But you know why? Because the basil is in the mint family, but only in Genoa, in a little suburb of Genoa, there is a basil that grows with any mint flavor at all. So it's completely different. That's the beauty about Italy, you know? And that's why I brought the Fassona breed, because there is a huge history. You can like or dislike the Fassona breed, but certainly is unique because it's the leanest cow in the world. And it's all about history because is a breed, is a mix in between the Pakistan, from the Zebu from Pakistan, we talk about Pangaea, and the Piedmontese, but only in 1856 in a village called Guarene was born the first cow with the hypertrophic muscle.
Oh.
So hypertrophic means double muscles and the leanest cow ever. So it's unique.
Yeah.
So as a raw beef, in my opinion, there is no comparison all around the world. About the steak, you have to know how to manage them because you have to dry age the loin in between 7 to 9 weeks to have a kick because it's really sweet as a steak. So you have to know how to manage. But as a raw beef, there is no comparison.
Wow. Yeah. Well, I admire that, I think, because, and I don't know if you can relate as well, but I think when you live abroad for a while, like you tend to say slowly, obviously you're attached to your homeland, like I'm attached to Puglia, as you are to like Liguria, but like you tend to slowly, maybe you hang out with other Italians, or like to slowly appreciate more sort of like your home country or the national level. And I think you try, and it's still maybe a good thing, but like when you eat things, you eat more Italian versus just from your region. So like I think having the resilience to say I want to bring meat, you know, that's what I grew up with. I really believe that it's important and it's very good from like where I'm from my region, and I want to be associated with that versus the traditional, you know, stereotypical Italian cuisine. Like
this is macellaio because it's mostly about meat, but believe me, it's a typical Italian restaurant because everything is homemade, mostly handmade. Because if you think about pasta, homemade pasta, we make the pasta every single morning by hand, no machine, because I don't like machine to make ravioli or to make gnocchi. I need to feel the bite. I have to be a little bit crunchy, even the fresh pasta, you know. The bread, the focaccia al formaggio, cheese focaccia, everything. The stock, of course, everything is homemade. That's an Italian, because when I grew up, it was like a family thing. Every Sunday, lunch was the occasion to enjoy your family, to talk about the past, the present, and to dream about the future. And was always with a big plate of pasta, and then meat, and then fish, and was like a long, long day. Enjoy everybody else, and the food, and talking, and dreaming, and you know, was joy, joy. Because for us, for an Italian culture, to be sit on the table is like joy, you know, it's sharing. It's like, take a minute, break, just leave everything on the side, we need to eat now, that's it, you know. It's this kind of thing, and it's powerful.
Yeah.
It's powerful. And and we need to shout, maybe louder out of Italy than in Italy. That we are Italian, we've got this kind of culture, and we know to show everybody. And we don't want to say that our enogastronomic culture is better or worse. It's just ours. We want to show you how it's ours. That's it. Full stop.
Yeah. But then you want people to understand that it's better when it's shared. Like it's, you know, I'm not bringing you the recipe. Like we could be sitting at the table and have spring rolls. I don't know, because you mentioned them earlier, and they will still be good. Like it's a different philosophy. Yeah.
It's like I cannot blame anyone. I'm not arrogant to say you have to, because everybody are free to think whatever they want. But as I said before, the food for an Italian is to share. You know, it's like there is no, otherwise it's a greedy thing. To eat alone, like, it's like, no, I don't like it. But
just for the sake of eating.
It's just to share with others. And most of the time, as an Italian point of view, is much better to enjoy you with my food than myself. I feel much better, you know, I feel better if you enjoy my food rather than eat by myself.
Yeah.
Because it's, to be a waiter is this kind of things, you know. I bring the dish on the table, and after 2 minutes I have to go back and say everything is fine, and you know, right there the smile changed my mood. It's all about smiling, it's all about sharing, it's all about enjoying. That's the Italian culture. It's not like, oh, stop it, stop it. Yeah, of course, we do a lot of gesture, but we've got a lot of energy. It's like...
Yeah, no, but it's I think it's just the feeling the connection with others. It's like wanting to be with others and wanting to share.
Exactly.
Can be through food or other stuff, and like food is like a very easy and like recurrent thing, because we all have to eat and you always have meals, so it's like the easiest thing to connect with.
Absolutely, absolutely.
All right, shall we continue?
Sorry. So now we need to mix all the ingredients, just a little bit like this, in a, let me say, in a dry way. And then my favorite.
Yeah.
Now, now we've got space.
Here it is. So you know in a steak tartare, is the egg mandatory?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the, yeah.
Yeah, so it's still very, yeah, still very, you still see the meat a lot. It is. Okay. Should we try it?
You have to. Of course.
Ci sei?
Vai, vai. Devi assaggiare, devi
Ok.
dire se è buono o meno.
Ma quindi, aspetta, in inglese. So we have to, when you eat steak tartare, you have to break the egg, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's like, it's the key, you know, it's like the king of the, to mix, to melt the steak.
Yeah, because it gives
They
you
probably
the,
put the oil to melt, to embrace all the ingredients. You know? This is the first
very
one,
nice.
really.
Yeah.
If you
It's
think
true.
that the first that they made, you weren't born yet. So,
I know, I told you before, I told you earlier. So when was the first time you made one?
1990.
Okay, wow.
So, and I have to still learning, eh?
Yeah. How many have you made?
Like thousands and thousands.
Always with the same ingredients, or?
Always. And believe me, it's because it's
Yeah.
all about, as I said before, it's all about the balance. You cannot miss one ingredient
Yeah.
rather than you know, because you have to put all of them to balance the steak. And I really, l'Aveyron, Charolais, or Fassona are quite similar. Not the same, but quite similar.
Yeah,
So
you
the
want a lean meat.
characteristics are similar. So lean, not too strong, because otherwise it's difficult to balance everything. If you got a steak too strong,
Yeah.
it's like if you put too many gherkins, or too many anchovies, or too much brandy. You know, you got to cover up some flavors, and you cannot. It's all about the balance.
Yeah.
How is it?
It's very good. Huh?
Okay.
Good to finish this. But it's true. That's why I think some people, they say, I don't like the egg because it scares me to see the raw egg. But then I think you need the viscosity of the egg.
And let
yeah.
me like. So you can feel the egg, because otherwise, if you don't mix, you feel the egg immediately,
Yeah.
and then
And then it goes away.
exactly.
Okay.
Like this is more balanced.
All right. Thank you. Yeah, you can tell I never really ordered steak tartare.
Oh,
I think I've had 2 or 3 in my life,
okay.
I think, because I like other types of things.
Course,
so
of course.
when you have a lot of choice, I tend not to order it.
course.
Yeah, so I don't feel really that comfortable
To eat steak
mixing,
tartare.
yeah,
mixing.
eating in front of you now.
Ah, no.
No, you mean like having to mix it? Yeah, I'm not very familiar with the.
No.
Yeah.
I can understand, but you know, sometimes if you see how it's made, it changes a little bit because you see the piece of meat, like the top side, lean, clear, fresh, and you see chopping in front of you with no machine, nothing
see all the
like
fresh
under the scene, you
ingredients.
know. Everything is fresh, everything in front of you. Just it's a different it's a different
It's true.
pathos.
I think, I mean, I really, I think I relate to that because I traveled a bit, went to see
Yeah.
how some foods are made, but sometimes like I would travel and like not see anything but say the cheese factory or the butcher, and then I think just by seeing the raw form of food, you appreciate
but I think
the dishes
that,
a bit
you know,
more.
I think French about food are great. So probably the reason why they make the steak tartare in front of you, it's about this, because there are too many ingredients with the raw meat. So the two things, if you think about these kind of things, make you a little bit worried. You know, will be fresh or not? Maybe which kind of ingredient?
So they want to
are they
reassure
fresh
you.
or not?
Yeah.
You know, so they want to show you that you can choose. Everything is fresh. Everything in front of you. Mix up in front. Like it's different. It's a different kind of sensation.
Yeah, it's true. No, you're absolutely right. It's so that you can understand what goes behind it, and
Exactly.
in your mind, it's much easier to comprehend.
Exactly. And you know, our job is start from there. That's why it's really important, the training. That's why it's really important, the history behind everything, you know, because you can have extra virgin oil from Tajasca, with no doubt. And you taste and you say for sure that is a good extra virgin oil. But if you know that you can make the extra virgin oil only in 50 kilometers in between two villages, it's something that, you know, make your extra virgin oil next time a little bit better.
Yeah.
It's about the history. It's
And-
about how knows why the Fassona breed is leanest.
Yeah.
Guarene, hypertrophic muscle, 1856. You have to spend time to learn. That's the beauty.
Yeah.
There is not just an extra virgin oil. You know?
There is a lot, yeah.
There is a lot. That's the beauty. If you think about Castelmagno, the cheese from Castelmagno Council in Piedmont.
Yeah, no, I was there last year.
So you've got two different kind of Castelmagno. So we can talk about everything.
Yeah.
Everything, almost everything, like charcuterie, cheeses, all around Italy, because I'm really obsessed. Because there is a big difference in between passion and obsession. And I think that passion is for beginner.
You think?
Yeah. Yeah, because everybody can be passionate something. I like this, oh, I'm passionate about, demonstrate how passionate you go. Think about this, how to make better in every single angle. Castelmagno is like from the Alps or from the cowshed, right? Are different, because from the cowshed you can have Castelmagno the whole year. From the Alps, they make Castelmagno only in summertime, you know? And when they bring the cows to feed them with the grass, they take the milk twice per day, early morning and evening. 5 o'clock in the morning, most of the time, and 6 o'clock in the evening, 7 o'clock in the evening. It depends the sun, you know? The beauty is that you know, they take the milk during the morning, and that kind of cow has eaten most flowers than grass. That milk has got a different kind of flavor.
Yeah, it will taste like the grass.
And you will feel during the aging a different kind of thing, the saltiness, and it will change constantly during the aging. That's the beauty. If you think about prawns, the red prawns from Sicily, that everybody are crazy about them, but the purple one from Liguria, Sanremo, Santa Margherita, there is a huge difference. And you know why? Because it's all about the sea.
Yeah, they live
You know,
somewhere
it's
different.
like it's all about the sea, because the red prawn from Sicily are deep, maximum 50 meters. The purple one, 250 meters, and are purple because when they catch the prawns, they explode the brain.
Oh yeah.
Like, you know, I don't know in English.
It's
the
for
word.
because
The
they
pressure.
go up too high for the pressure.
Too faster, and the pressure. That's
Oh.
why it's purple. But if you eat the head, the purple one, it's sweet. It's like, wow, it's like sugar. You know when at the Luna Park is the icing sugar or whatever? It's like sugar. Believe me.
Wow.
It's like that. I can go there, or don't think that I'm crazy. I'll go there if I eat with the eyes closed, or in the bull testicles.
Okay.
It's got the same
Same taste, same flavor.
the same taste, the same sweetness, the same. But I go there on the other side, and that's the beauty, because food, it's all about memories. It's all about memories. When you eat something that reminds you something else, or someone else, or somewhere else, that's the beauty of food.
So when's the first time you ate bull's testicle?
Oh, when I was a kid.
Yeah?
I was a very strange kid, because, you know, as I said before, we used to eat only offals. Not only, but mostly offal, like kidney, liver, testicles. And I was crazy about testicle, because if you got the testicle, the bull testicle, most of the people like them fried, deep fried. I prefer in the pan with butter and bay leaves and some salt.
Oh.
It's like,
They lean
they
meat.
are absolutely lean, but delicate, not strong. No, like for example, the kidney, the liver is like you can feel the blood, no, stuff like that. It's like quite. You have to really like meat to eat that kind of part of the animal. The testicles are completely different. Probably the expectation is like because of the name, because of the, you know, but they are so delicate. They are like, wow.
Okay, well, I think it's time to wrap up.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you
It's
so
been a
much for
pleasure.
sharing your story. Yeah, it's been a pleasure as well.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So here I am. Sorry, I had to find cover because it's raining. I haven't really been blessed by the series. The weather's been really miserable, which, you know, it's as it should be, you know, when you're shooting something in London. But anyway, I'm here to give my 2 cents about the conversation with Roberto. It was very refreshing, I've got to say, just very, very nice. I really connected with everything he said, and you could tell his passion, you know, or obsession, as he said, like was there, like so, I don't want to say passionate, but like so taken and so attached to learning about history and just taking nothing for granted and recognizing things, like the value of things, just after getting to know them better. I think that's what I got from him. And obviously the steak tartare was great, and I loved the addition of olive oil. Yeah, I loved, you know, all this backstory about sort of how when you're a waiter, it's actually a very fun, exciting job. Obviously there is a lot that can be done to make that better. But I think it connects very nicely to the fact that if you go up positions and you become a senior, wherever you are, I don't know, maybe you lose that naivety, that ingenuity that comes with like being young and experimenting new things and sort of being thrown in the, in the mist and being out of your comfort zone. And yeah, you have the best experiences in that, and I feel like that's what I had, you know, in my first few years as a video journalist, and I kind of lost that in favor of the comfort of the office job, working behind a desk and all that. And I think that's why I'm trying to get out a little bit more with this series. I think I'm just trying to feel that spark again, and I hope, you know, whatever job you have or whatever, you know, whatever brings you that spark, that you resonated with this conversation and you really enjoyed it. I know I said this was going to be an international series and then I present you an Italian chef, but I think it's more about that. Like, it's not about the Italianness of things, but it's just about the approach that he brings. And at the end of the day, I had a lot of fun. It was a very nice conversation. If you've stuck around for this long, thank you so much for watching. You're a real treasure. I'll see you soon with the next episode of Misplated. And if you enjoyed this one, please don't forget to like, subscribe, press the bell button, all the things that a YouTuber will tell you to do. I still need to get used to listing all of them. But anyway, if you enjoyed this episode, please don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. That's coming soon, and that's going to be with another amazing chef. This time we're going to be in Islington, so I hope the traffic is going to be a little bit less dramatic than here in central London. Yeah, just going to hop on my moped and go home. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.